What is going on, Sunstar Squad? We are back on this 1986 LT250R quad racer. And yes, the title is correct. We are fitting a YFZ 450R front suspension onto this thing. And I know what you're thinking. Why? Why would you do that? Well, for two reasons mainly. One is parts availability. If you've ever been around the old Suzukis, then you know they never waited for a new model year. They would just randomly come out with a different submodel, if you would call it. The 1986 in particular does have 5 of them. There's the F, G, H, J, and the K. So finding parts for this thing was getting kind of difficult because it is old. And the different submodels don't necessarily mean that anything listed for a 1986 LT250R will fit. So we made the decision to go with a YFZ 450R front suspension for parts availability as well as performance gains. If you have ever ridden one of these in stock form, then you know that it is not the best handling quad that ever came out around that time. And it just needed something. We do plan on racing this, so it will get XC raced, as well as probably some Faircross and maybe an ATV MX race, who knows. So we did need something better than what came in stock form. You'll also notice that we went ahead when we had the frame stripped down. We did go ahead and add a bunch of braces and brackets and different things like that when we were getting the tabs put on for this YFZ suspension. And we also want to run a steering stabilizer, because if you have ever ridden a sport quad, you know every sport quad needs a steering stabilizer. So we should have one of those outfitted here pretty soon. We also went ahead and upgraded the motor a bit. It is still a non-power valve motor. However, it does have some fun little fancies inside of it. And the swing arm. The 1987 and older ones are usually the better ones. That would be the square box ones. They're a little bit stouter. We decided to go back to the round style one, and Isaac and Landon put a bunch of bracing on it and different things like that to hopefully make it a little stronger. So that will be a fairly decent upgrade, we think, at least in terms of weight savings and just being able to work on it a lot easier. We also kind of copied the LSR, that's Lone Star Racing, front end geometry adjustments. We are going with a washer setup so that we can easily adjust the caster as needed depending on track conditions or rider input or anything like that. Since there isn't a whole lot of information, even though this isn't an unheard of upgrade on the front suspension, we do want to be able to dial it in, because like I said, we do plan on racing it quite a bit. I do apologize for how long this project has taken and how long it has been since our last video upgrade. If you follow Isaac and myself, you know that we do race the GNCC series. Well, he races it. I run the pits and the driver and stuff like that. So the race season did get in the way, I guess you could say. We did spend a lot of time making sure that the race machines were all set up and traveling all over the country and stuff like that. So it did kind of limit the time that we had to put into this project. We can go ahead and jump into it. I will probably play some music here right after I am done with this voiceover, because I had my kids in the shop with me because they want to be involved with stuff like this. All you can hear is Ben and Cam, and I don't know if you've ever seen their YouTube videos. They do like secret rooms and stuff, and my kids are obsessed with them right now. So all you can hear is both my boys watching them on their iPads, as well as there's an exhaust fan behind me that I've never heard turn on since we've been in this building. And I don't know if it's just because I was recording or what, but it kicked on a couple times and it was just the most obnoxious noise coming over the microphone that I've ever heard in my life. So I did go ahead and mute all these clips. We're just going to do a simple voiceover with maybe some canned music so I don't get the old copyright infringement and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. These will be fairly short videos from here on out, just kind of going over all of the different upgrades in that particular section that we're working on. So I'll catch you all at the end of the video.
Liquid rust, 1, 2, 3, 5.
There we have it, folks. We're done with the front end for the most part. We still have some little odds and ends to do, but we were able to get this YFZ 450R front suspension, hubs, all that fun stuff, fitted up to this 1986 LT250R. It did come with its challenges. A lot of those we didn't video record. We're just kind of doing some of the final assembly stuff. But I want to give a big shout out to Slick Coatings, who's one of our local powder coaters. He does a lot of the local racer stuff. He killed it on the work that he did on this frame, the springs, and the A-arms here. He's got a couple of the other parts that we just dropped off to him, and I can't wait to see how those ones come out. Great guy. You guys should look him up if you're in the Ohio area. Shoot him some work. But we appreciate everybody for taking the time to watch this video. And the next ones should be, respectively, we're working front to back, so we'll do the motor and electronics and all that kind of fun stuff, and then we'll jump into the rear end. So we hope to see you guys on those videos as well, and as always, have fun and be safe.